This is the Gerry Callahan Show.
Let me start by apologizing right off the bat to Paul Ascar on the chat line. He's our first comment today. He says, how about some good news today, Gerry? Can't have any more bad news. Let me see, Paul. Let me check my notes. Well, Nancy Pelosi's retiring. We knew that. That's, I guess, good news, although she'll be replaced probably by somebody even worse, probably by a Muslim who wants to implement Sharia law. So I'm not sure that's great news that 85-year-old Nancy Pelosi is finally shuffling away, but that's the best I got, Paul. I'm not sure we have a lot of good news. Maybe this is good news. How about this for good news? They're not hiding. They're not pretending. There's nothing stealthy about what Zohran Mamdani's supporters are doing now that their guy has won, has prevailed, has conquered New York City. We told you how this was going to go. We told you it was going to get bad. It was going to get ugly. This is day one. He's not even in office yet. He won with 50% of the vote in New York City 2 nights ago. We knew he was going to win. He was running against the worst Democrat in the world, but he won. They won. They succeeded. This is the next step on the effort for Muslims in America to take over. This is their goal. They're not hiding it. They want to win public office. They want to change this country, fundamentally transform it. Here's day one. Here's the night their guy won. This is a Mamdani supporter in New York City climbing a pole and ripping down American flags. On the same pole is, I believe, a Palestinian flag, a few other foreign flags. Those are fine.
Two Palestinian flags, and those are the only two flags that survived.
The Palestinian flags survived. The American flags come down. Where are the cops? Oh, that's right. We're getting rid of the cops. This is day one. It has begun. I'm not sure what it'll take to wake people up. It certainly didn't slow them down on Tuesday. They went to the polls. He got more than 1 million votes. He got sent into higher office by his fellow foreigners. These numbers are just staggering. People, New York City voters who have been in this country fewer than 5 years, in other words, foreigners, newcomers to New York, legal or illegal, voted for Zohran Mamdani. 85%, almost 9 in 10 immigrants, illegal, legal, whatever, voted for the Muslim Marxist. 85%. You don't get 80. How about this one? This is even more disturbing, alarming. Gen Z women aged 18 to 29 in New York City voted almost as overwhelmingly. 84% of women 18 to 29 voted for this, what we're looking at right here. Here is Times Square on election night. Hundreds, maybe 1,000 Muslims with their prayer rugs, praying in Times Square, blocking traffic. This is not normal. This is an expression. This is a victory lap. We won. Here's what we're going to do. You can't stop us. I'm not sure why this doesn't bother every American, but somehow it doesn't. Democrats are thrilled. Their guy won. He won the Democrat nomination in June. He won the general election on Tuesday night. They've taken over the big stage in New York City. They have barriers blocking the streets to pray. Now, last I checked, there were 300 mosques in New York City. There are more than 3,000 mosques in the United States right now. The number has tripled since the year 2000. And yet they have to block the streets to pray. That is a group that is flexing their muscles, that is shoving it in your face that is showing you that they prevailed, that they won, and you can't stop them. They didn't just win in New York City. They won. Hell, this is the biggest city. This is our economic engine. And they got their guy into the mayor's office, into Gracie Mansion. And God help us what's coming next. I've told you, we've talked about it for weeks now. You're going to see this on a nightly basis, this mass group prayer, which they're doing as publicly as possible. They're disrupting New York. They're ripping down flags. They're telling you this is the next step to Sharia law. There's going to be signs like this, exhibitions like this daily. You're going to have, I'll say it again, you're going to have no-go zones. You're going to have Jewish people not feel safe in this city. And these are the people who are going to make them feel unsafe. They don't like Jews. Hell, Zoran Mamdani doesn't like Jews. They don't like Christians. They don't like America. And yet they now control our biggest city. How do we let this happen? I understand. Immigration, unfettered immigration, unchecked immigration from the third world is out of control. If this isn't a wake-up call, what is? What is it going to take? Are we going to wait till we have a Muslim, Muslim senators, Muslim vice president? Is that what it's going to take? Because that's the goal. The goal is to dominate, not to assimilate. You're going to have places where you can't walk your dog. You're going to have places where you can't wear a Star of David or a cross. You're going to have, I'm predicting right now, they're going to have a problem with Christmas lights. You're going to have the Muslim call to prayer in New York City 5 times a day, beginning at 5 a.m., ending at 11 p.m. That's already the case in Dearborn, Michigan, in Minneapolis. It's going to happen in New York City any minute now. We knew this was coming. We warned you. Anyone who was paying attention knew. And yet somehow this smiling snake oil salesman, this smarmy, phony actor fooled enough people. I mean, he got the Muslim vote, but he also got the young Gen Z women vote because they were told, you're going to get some free stuff. You're going to get a free bus ride. You're going to get affordability. He's going to make the city more affordable. Oh, wait, before he does that, he wants your money. This was amazing. Again, he just had to get elected and then he could drop the act. That's what happened. He put on an act for months. He smiled. He said, we're going to make New York City affordable for everybody. And everything's going to be free. We're going to freeze your rent. You're going to get free buses. You're going to have a $30 minimum wage, which is brilliant. And these idiots, these morons, these pathetic lemmings fell for it. Here is Mamdani yesterday, one day, a few hours after winning the election, the guy who promised free everything, asking for money for his transition. I don't think I've ever seen this before. A politician said, okay, I won. Now send me money so I can, pay my transition team. This is just funny. This is real. Go ahead, play it.
Good morning, New York City. Thank you. Last night we made history, and today we begin the work of making a new administration. Welcome to the transition. This is a period over the next few months where we build a city hall that delivers on the promises of our campaign, to make New York City affordable and to make government accountable to the people it serves. As we prepare to govern, we'll start announcing the leaders who will help implement our agenda. People like deputy mayors who oversee entire areas of government and the commissioners who carry out the critical work of city agencies. These appointments will be driven by excellence, integrity, and hunger to solve old problems with new solutions. Talking to organizers on the front lines of the fight to improve our city, government veterans with proven track records, policy experts from around the country and the world, and working people who know better than anyone what our neighborhoods deserve. And this will be a period, like the campaign we ran and the city hall to come, defined by transparency, because New Yorkers deserve a government they can trust. On January 1st, I will be your mayor. New Year's Day and a new era for this city. Oh, and one more thing. Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure that can meet this moment. And it will be made possible by the people who built and believe in this movement. So I hope you'll make a donation at transition2025.com. Now let's get to work.
Send me money, says the communist. Wow, that's a shocker. By the way, why can't Alex Soros, why can't CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, who bankrolled him, why can't Qatar pay for the transition? Why does it have to be these idiots who believed him, who fell for him? I'm telling you, I have never been more confident than I am in my prediction that this is going to be a disaster from day one, hell, before day one. This is going to be a disaster. These women who are celebrating, these 25, 28, 30-year-old women that just said, you know, he sounds good, he smiles, he makes me feel good. We got good energy. Can't you feel the energy? We have to save all these clips, Ironhead. Find a little file. Save these clips from these people because they are going to live to regret this. There's going to be a mass exodus from New York City, from professionals and people who pay the freight. The top 1% who pay 48% of the taxes in New York City, they're going. They're gone. They're leaving. They can work remotely. Hell, Wall Street can work remotely. I love these people who say, oh, they can't leave. It's New York City. Why not? I mean, you shut them down a couple of years ago. Why can't they do that again? They're going to do it again. He is so dangerous. Give me that young woman who is excited about Sharia law. And I wonder, the scenes from the party, the celebration, and all these people are just giddy. Do they know what's coming? Do they care what's coming? Do they understand what Sharia law is? Look at this woman. She's probably, I don't know, 27 years old. She declares right now, Sharia law begins. Well, I got a question for you, sweetheart. Where's your hijab? Where's your getup? Isn't that going to be part of the deal? I'm not sure you're going to be so
bust out the cookbooks and the laundry detergent.
Yes, get in the kitchen, woman. Sharia law, you can't be out there. By the way, she's showing her arms, not just her face, her arms. And she thinks somehow someone convinced her that Sharia law is a good thing for New York City. Check this out.
Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York starts today, baby.
God, there's just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is going to pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead, it ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
So happy about what exactly? A free bus, free childcare, free everything. That's what.
And someone being dead, as the left likes to do, they celebrate death.
And she's happy that Dick Cheney died, which is obviously they're all happy about that. But think of that. So you're going to have free buses, which will be rolling drug dens. There'll be crime scenes. You're going to have people released from prison. You have a mayor who doesn't believe that political violence is a real thing, who doesn't believe in incarceration. And these vulnerable young women, 25, 28, 30-year-old women, are giddy. They didn't just vote for him. They're excited about what a Mamdani administration will bring to New York City. A woman, she appears to be a young white woman, says the caliphate starts now. Sharia law starts now. She's thrilled. Why? What's going to happen to you that makes you so thrilled at this point? What is Mamdani going to do that's good for you, young lady? Explain that to us. This is, as I've said for months, an indictment on our education system. I understand that colleges are indoctrination factories, particularly in big blue cities like New York. But who did this? Who poisoned her mind? Who warped her brain into thinking not just Sharia law, but communism is a good idea for New York City? We have failed a generation. We have convinced these people that what Mamdani said Tuesday night, that no problem is too big for government to solve. An American politician, a mayor of our biggest city, said that out loud. No problem is too big to solve. Give me that clip from Mamdani on violence and how he doesn't believe it's a thing. It's a social construct, violence, like crime, like robbery and carjacking and murder. You have a mayor who doesn't believe that is real. You know who the first victims are going to be? Young women on the subway, young women walking the streets, young women who celebrated Tuesday night and are still celebrating because MAGA lost and Sharia law is coming. We have failed. We have opened our borders to people who hate this country. We have indoctrinated young people like them into believing that America is bad. Something like 66% of Democrats now believe socialism is a good thing. Where'd they get that idea? From their parents? Probably not. From teachers and professors have told them capitalism is bad, socialism is good. And they went to the polls enthusiastically and voted for somebody who says capitalism is theft. He was asked straight out, do you believe in capitalism? He says, no, I don't. Capitalism is bad. And they voted for that. Americans wearing their designer clothes voted for a man who says capitalism is bad. Capitalism is theft. As for violence, which is coming, it is coming. I feel bad for the people who appear to be Jewish and want to walk the streets and want to live in this city. This is their new mayor telling you that violence, which we've seen, which was out of control in New York City under Joe Biden, that's not real. Political violence, any kind of violence is not real. Listen to your next mayor. Go ahead.
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear to what is happening here with these district attorneys. That is violence. That is violence at the highest level.
If I heard that correctly, violence isn't real. It's an artificial construction. What he considers violence is prosecuting the violent criminals. He just said what the DA is doing is violence. What the mugger is doing, or the drug dealer, or the carjacker, that's not violence. That's the mayor. Those young ladies, they're giddy. They love it. Their guy won. I'm not sure they understand what is coming. Well, here's what else happened on Tuesday night. Here's the New York fire chief, who is Jewish, Robert Tucker, quit day one. Can't work for this guy. New York police cops are going to quit in droves. New York taxpayers are going to leave in droves. It's already happening. Give me that realtor from Palm Beach. They are laughing. They are overwhelmed with people who are moving out, who are moving south. Don't they understand? Is that difficult to understand? These Mamdani girls, these fangirls, don't they understand that the rich people who are paying the freight don't have to stay? This is not a national thing. This is a local thing. Local people can leave. You can move out of the state tomorrow and take the tax base with you. Here's a Palm Beach realtor telling you what it was like on day one after Mamdani's big victory Tuesday night. Go ahead.
Okay, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I did not think
exactly this was going to happen. I thought this guy was going to win in New York City. I thought that our market was going to pick up, but I didn't think it was going to happen like the next morning. I'm like, okay, my sellers like settle down. I don't think they're just going to come, racing down and, from New York City, but it's, I don't know. I don't even know what time it is, 3 or 4 o'clock. I've literally been on the phone since 7 a.m., nonstop back-to-back calls. I had showings scheduled for listings that haven't had showings in a month. And yeah, I was wrong because it literally turned on like a light bulb, literally blew off like a firecracker. And the post-socialist New York City political market is here on our shores in Palm Beach. Welcome.
That's one market, one city, one town, Palm Beach. What about Naples and Sarasota? What about Nashville? They're all going to be overwhelmed. Why would you stay? If you're a capitalist, the mayor doesn't like capitalists. Why would you stay? Here is whom controls New York City. Wow, we have played you these clips. We've told you. Why didn't people listen? Why didn't people pay attention to what Mamdani is going to do to New York City? I mentioned college professors, teachers, but the ignorance, the sheer stupidity. I understand Muslims want their guy, they want to take over, but they couldn't have done this without those dumb, brainless Gen Z women. What did they think was going to happen? That suddenly everything was going to be great because they didn't have to pay for the bus? Here's a Muslim activist celebrating the victory and explaining what's going to happen now. Go ahead.
We're done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be upon, of Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after me. I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah. There is no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
If you're just listening along, that is Times Square. That you could see the big neon signs in the background. That is Times Square, New York City, kind of the heartbeat of New York City, the economic engine. This is the number one tourist spot, I believe, in the country, Times Square, saying that they are taken over, that there is no God but Allah. You must hear this all over the city. That was the first day. This is how it begins. And somehow everyone's not alarmed. Everyone's like, celebrate diversity. We let this happen to our country. Presidents, Congress, and senators, mayor, they let this happen to our country. And I'm not sure there's no turning back now. It is just going to steamroll, to snowball. And that guy, you think he's it's just a one-day thing? He's going to get back to work tomorrow? He'll be out there again tonight and the next night. And they are just going to work their asses off to turn New York into London, and then they're going to move on. They already got Minneapolis and Dearborn, Michigan, and they're going to come for Chicago and LA and Boston and San Francisco. What's going to stop them? They're feeling pretty damn good. And here's the last thing I'll say is, why isn't everyone awake? Why isn't everyone watching this? Why isn't everyone saying we must do something here? Why are people still out there talking about, climate change or, Iran or Russia or China? This is the existential threat right here. This is it. Every Republican should be out there showing you that video, telling you What's going to happen? We warned you. We warned you what would happen after Tuesday night, and it's happening. Open your eyes. Wake up. From Trump to Vance to everybody in Congress, everybody with a microphone, everybody with a TV show or podcast should be screaming. We have to wake up. We have to pay attention. They're telling you what they're going to do. They're telling you that this is how it works, that they win elections. This wasn't just the only one. We had, obviously, it was a big one. In Virginia, they just elected the first Muslim lieutenant governor in Virginia. We focused on the governor and the attorney general, who wants to murder you. Those are big deals. In St. Paul, Minnesota, they elected an illegal alien mayor. In Coldwater, Colorado, they elected a guy named Jose Sabalas. Coldwater, Kansas. He's an illegal alien. And the illegal alien is mayor. And thankfully it's Kansas. They're charging him with voting. He voted. I assume he voted for himself. He's an illegal alien who voted, and now he's facing charges. He's an illegal alien from Mexico. And the Kansas Secretary of State, Scott Schwab, and Attorney General Chris Kobach announced they're filing 6 charges against Sabalas, a illegal alien from Mexico, for voting in 2022, 23, and 24. He's the mayor. What is going on? Here's the mayor of St. Paul admitting she's illegal. Go ahead.
Because his mother had died. My father, as the one processing the paperwork, put my grandmother down as his mother. And so I am illegal in this country. My parents are illegal here in this country.
Can someone explain to me, we have invested billions in ICE, in CBP with the big, beautiful bill. They've recruited tens of thousands of new agents. Why isn't she arrested? Why isn't Jose Sabalas from Coldwater, Kansas, arrested? They're illegal aliens. I thought that was the whole point, to get them out. Why? Are we afraid of the look, of the optic? I think it'd be a good optic. I think that would be a good look. Arrest illegals who are holding higher office. Before we move on, I want to go back to the party, because this is amazing that Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries endorsed this guy. Kathy Hochul rallied for this guy. She showed up at a rally, made speeches. He is the face of the Democrat Party. Zohran Mamdani is the most prominent Democrat in the country right now. He is their problem, and it's going to get worse. Here's who was at the celebration. This disgusting woman, Jennifer Welch, who wants more Charlie Kirks. She's a prominent podcast host, a former Bravo star. She was there. Mehdi Hassan, who was fired at MSNBC for being too radical. He's the one that said non-Muslims are cattle and homosexuals are perverts. He was there. Hassan Piker, he's in the middle. He said America deserved 9/11. No, he's not in the right in the middle. That's Khalil, Momad Khalil, the man who led the anti-Semitic protests at Columbia. And they tried to deport him. I guess we failed. Here he is, elated, giddy, hugging his fellow radicals. This is who was in the party, the celebration of our new
Jamal
mayor.
Bowman too?
Is it who?
Jamal Bowman?
Jamal Bowman, yep. Fire alarm, Jamal Bowman. That's him right there in the middle. These are the people celebrating. If Hassan Piker and Mehdi Hassan are ecstatic, we have a problem. That's who's thrilled today, right now, to see the takeover of New York City. All right, it has begun, and we will be all over it, because it's going to get worse. There's going to be violence. It's going to get crazier, and that's what Gen Z gals voted for, Sharia law. All right, we got so much to get to. Day 37 of the shutdown, the Democrat shutdown. Airports are, they got real issues now. Democrats are okay with that. We don't care about starving kids. We don't care about air traffic controllers burnt out, going without pay. They did this for Tuesday night. They did this for election night. It was another No Kings protest, and they had a big day, a great day for Democrats, a bad day for Republicans. No sugarcoating it. Why would they stop now? They're winning. The media's, helping them, and people are somehow buying the fact that Trump is responsible when Democrats vote to shut down the government. But we've gone over that plenty. And Nancy Pelosi made it official. She is stepping down. We have Trump's reaction, which is the most Trumpian thing ever. We'll get to that and more. But first,
Excuse me.
if there's something all of us can believe in, it's hard work, self-reliance, and showing up for the people who count on us. Kind of like President Trump, just going hard 24/7. The difference is Donald Trump doesn't need sleep. You do. I do. It's the most important thing to good health. I was in a horrible cycle that had no end in sight. I knew I had to find something to break me free of that cycle. That's when I found Beam's Dream Powder. Beam is proudly founded in America and run by people who share our values: hard work, integrity, and delivering results. It's a healthy nighttime blend packed with science-based ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. Dream is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients: reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, and melatonin. Here's the deal. Beam is giving my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount of up to 40% off. Try their best-selling green powder and get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code Gerry, G-E-R-R-Y, you can get the best-selling dream powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Gerry. Use code word Gerry at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Gerry. Use code word Gerry for up to 40% off. I have a couple more questions about Tuesday night's blue wave. I've heard many people analyze this, and obviously it wasn't a shock. These are blue places: New Jersey, Virginia, New York City. But it was bad. They were routes. Abigail Spanberger, who was just an awful candidate, won by like 13. Chitterelli got routed in New Jersey. People showed up, and all I kept hearing was, oh, it's affordability. The economy's terrible. Well, I have a couple questions. Is the economy really terrible? What am I missing? Gas prices way down, stock market way up, egg prices down 85%. We heard a lot about eggs. Hell, Liz Warren kept tweeting and talking about eggs. Eggs are way down. Most grocery prices are down. Why is the economy so bad? They could say it, but is it really? And secondly, the people who won on the making affordability an issue, that would be the new governor of Virginia and the new governor of New Jersey, they were both in Congress for the last 5 years. They both voted for every insane spending bill that Joe Biden signed. They supported spending $10 trillion, wasting $10 trillion through COVID. That's why we have inflation. Inflation was over 9% at one point under Biden because Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill voted for it. So the women who gave us inflation, who gave us high prices, high gas prices, high egg prices, then ran for governor, promising to make life more affordable, and people bought it. People fell for that. It is this big lie we're hearing from the media, from Democrats, that, oh, people can't afford interest rates. Trump brought them down. Joe Biden sent them up. And so did Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill. So it makes no sense. It was just a temper tantrum because Trump. They hate Trump. They can't tell you why. He just he makes them feel icky. He makes them feel bad. That's why they went to the No Kings protest, and that's why they went to the polls on Tuesday night to stop Trump. Stop him from doing what? Exactly. From making groceries more expensive. That was the last guy. That was your guy. There is just no underestimating the intelligence intelligence of voters at this point. They're acting on emotion. That's what, and it's most acute with women. They look at Trump and they hate him. So they vote against him and say, yeah, I can't afford groceries. Well, how did you do for the 4 years under Biden? How did that go? Spanberger and Cheryl were right there with Joe Biden. They're the ones who spent all the money. They're the ones who sent the prices soaring. And somehow people in their minds rationalized it because they hate Trump so much. But that's my analysis of Tuesday night. Well, I told you there was some good news, Paul, on the chat line. There was some good news. Nancy Pelosi made it official. She is stepping down. She will not seek re-election. She writes, "There is no greater honor for me than to stand on the House floor and say I speak for the people of San Francisco. I truly love serving as your voice in Congress, and I've always honored the soul of San Francisco. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace." What? Lord? Oh, she's going to pretend to be a Catholic now. Oh, great. "This is why I want you, my fellow San Franciscos, to be the first to know I will not be seeking re-election. With a grateful heart, I look forward to my final year of service." She will be 86 in March. I just watched the CNN panel analyze this, and they had one analyst say she's worked with her a lot. She's that strategist, and she's sharp as a tack. She actually used that sharp as a tack. Sure, don't believe your eyes. Don't believe the fact that this woman has gone off the rails. Can't even keep her teeth in when she talks. Can't walk without assistance. The Senate, the Congress, the House have become nursing homes, assisted living facilities. And this is Exhibit A. This is a woman who should have walked away 20 years ago to be with her grandkids, to sit on the porch, to whatever, enjoy her $250 million she's made while insider training. But she hung on, mostly because she's drunk with power, but also because she hates Trump. Trump was asked about this. I was wondering, would Trump say, she was whatever, she fought hard for her side, and, she was a worthy opponent, and, good luck to her and all that? No, not Trump. That's what, President, Romney would have said, or President McCain would have said, but not President Trump. He did not hold back. Do we have the Trump response to Nancy Pelosi's announcement?
Yes, and I just chatted with President Trump about this breaking news that Nancy Pelosi will be leaving Washington. He tells me the following, and this is a quote: "The retirement of Nancy Pelosi is a great thing for America. She was evil, corrupt, and only focused on bad things for our country. She was rapidly losing control of her party, and it was never coming back. I'm very honored. She impeached me twice and failed miserably twice. Nancy Pelosi is a highly overrated politician." And so that is the first word, but definitely not the last word, from President Trump about this.
Good. This was a day or a couple days after Nancy Pelosi said Donald Trump's the worst thing on the face of the earth. The worst thing on the face, worse than disease, famine, war, worse than Kim Jong-un or Vladimir Putin, worst thing on the face of the earth. And Trump responded in kind. I believe Trump. She is evil. She is corrupt. She has made a fortune insider trading in D.C. She is going to go home a year. She's got a year to go. She'll fall again, break her hip. She'll lose her way. Her teeth will fall out. And then Democrats will say, she was so effective. What a great fighter. Trump's right. She was evil. All right. I got a few more things to get to. This last night, Erica Kirk gave an interview to Fox. It was amazing. She's, you know what? When I watch this, I think she's still in a fog. She really is. She is still processing it. She's still, grieving. Obviously, her husband was murdered in front of the world. The most high-profile political assassination in 50 years. It was disturbing. It's still disturbing. And she sat down for the first time for an extended interview. And it is just, I'm sorry, I'm uncomfortable watching this. It feels a little bit exploitative, in my opinion. I'm like, how does she do it? How does she get out of bed? And she's running the organization, which is a huge organization, as she showed. They own all these buildings in Arizona. They have hundreds or thousands of employees. It's a big job. And she's trying to step in her husband's shoes, and good luck to her. I watch this. My heart breaks for her. She has two little kids who ask every day, where's daddy? Where's daddy? And she has to know. She knows. She says she's, not paying attention to these things, but she knows thousands, hundreds of thousands of her fellow Americans celebrated when her husband was murdered. They were happy that a 31-year-old father of two, a great man, a spiritual man, a Christian man, a guy who, as we talked about, didn't drink, didn't swear, respected his opposition, who elevated the political discourse, who tried to have good, healthy, robust debates. And for that, a leftist, a lunatic, a trans adjacent lunatic shot him while he was talking about trans violence. That happened just a few weeks ago. And somehow lots of people have forgotten, or they've just immersed themselves in conspiracies, and it's crazy what's gone on since Charlie Kirk was murdered. But she sat down and talked to Jesse Waters about all the craziness, the conspiracies, the celebrations. I don't know how you do that. You lost your husband. He's never coming back. And she's very religious, and she thinks he's in heaven and all that. She said, if God gave him a choice to die, go to heaven and lead and spark this movement, just energize this movement, or live, he would have chosen to die, which is weird. I'm not sure I believe that, because he was pretty effective here on earth. But, again, she's grieving. She's ruined. She's wrecked. She's broken, understandably. And people all around her are coming up with conspiracies and don't just want to, just grieve for her. They want to capitalize on it. We'll get to Candace Owens, but here is Erica Kirk last night.
There's other theories swirling around about Charlie's assassination.
Right.
How does that make you feel?
When everything happened, my phone died and became a black hole. I just didn't turn it on for weeks on end. I've intentionally insulated myself because I need to guard my heart, and I need to be there for my kids, and I need to be there for Turning Point. And what I've realized through all of this is that everyone grieves differently. Everyone is trying to figure out, and I don't blame them, how does this happen? How does somebody become so radicalized where they can justify this in their own head? We just lost one of the greatest voices of our generation. Why? How? What's behind it? Like, everyone's trying to process this. And I respect that. But where my heart is just asking for some grace is for the ones who were there that day. They have to relive that every single day. He didn't die in a car accident. He didn't die from cancer. He was assassinated. And the difference between this and previous assassinations in this country is there was no social media. There was no AI. I can't tell you how many fake images are out there of all of this. And again, my only request is that just please pray and consider and think about whatever you put online, because it's going to impact his kids in the future. I don't want my kids to go on the internet one day when they're older and see things that it's just, we're all trying to process this in their own way, and I appreciate that. But just some grace would be nice.
Just some grace would be nice. She has bodyguards. She has security. She's received many, many deaths. People want her dead. Why? Because She's an effective speaker for a cause because she's religious, spiritual, and they want to kill her. They want to hurt her. They mock her online. And the worst of the worst, and we've talked about this before, this is just mind-blowing to me. Candace Owens is a lunatic. She has gone off the rails a long time ago. And the real problem here is she's not some lunatic on the fringe. I just looked at the numbers. Ironhead and I just looked at the numbers before the show. She has a huge audience, and it's gotten bigger since she lost her mind. Since she was a friend of Charlie Kirk. She was a confidant. She was a TPUSA person out there appearing. She worked with him in the past, and she considered him a friend. She is now telling her huge audience. Look, there's one conservative podcast ahead of her on the charts. That's Megyn Kelly. She's bigger than Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh or any other. It's one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And what she does every day is just go out there and float these insane conspiracy theories that woman, Erica Kirk, was involved in her husband's murder. Now we know that they made an arrest. We know who Tyler Robinson is. He's a lunatic. He had a furry, tranny boyfriend, and he hated Charlie Kirk. He made that clear. And he took his grandfather's rifle and shot him. And she goes from there to, one day it's Israel, the next day it's, the Trump. But she literally said this week that TPUSA, the people we see grieving, the guys who worked on Charlie's show as chief of staff, and her, the grieving widow, were involved in the murder. Here's Candace Owens, again, big star, huge audience, literally implicating the grieving widow and his closest friends in the murder of Charlie Kirk. Go ahead.
Semester, which would be in the fall. They would go backwards. You don't instantly get approved for an event at Turning Point USA. It reeks of an inside job. That is how I feel. And the more that we learn about the story, the little changes that happen, the inexplicable things that we're learning, it becomes clearer and clearer that somehow at some layer, at some stage, Turning Point USA is involved because they're giving us no clarity. Why? Are you?
Turning Point was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk. I mean, I know lots of conspiracies have come true around this country in the last 5 years. I've certainly changed my tune and on conspiracy theories in general, on Alex Jones and others, but that is utter madness. And again, she's not some fringe. This is Nick Fuentes. This is Candace Owens, who used to be respected. She used to be on cable news. She's gone off the rails so badly. She's just out there on her own, throwing out these conspiracy theories, and people are watching. People are listening. People believe her that Erica Kirk was involved in her husband's murder. I don't think I've ever seen a more insane. I mean, obviously, Alex Jones said, the mass shooting in Connecticut was, they were actors or whatever, false flag, and he paid with, he's got to pay billions. He's going to lose his whole company. That was bad. This is even more insane, in my opinion. Literally saying the grieving widow was involved in her husband's murder. But it's working for her. She's making a lot of money doing that. And that's all she does, by the way. She just, every time she does a podcast, she throws out that insane theory and implicates Israel, of course, because, Israel's behind everything. But it's working for her, I guess. She sold her soul. That wasn't the most insane thing. That isn't the most insane thing we have for you today. This I want to get to. I have time for this, Ironhead. You know Roy Wood Jr. is? There he is on your screen. He's a comedian, an actor. He's got a show on CNN. He's a big star. He's got a lot of money. He's a celebrity. He's a star. He goes on Shannon Sharpe's podcast, and he just said to me, the most insane thing, even more insane than Candace Owens. And Shannon just laughs along and indulges him. Here's what he said. He's talking about slavery and reparations. This guy, again, wealthy Hollywood star, says he tracked the family, the ancestors of the person who sold his ancestors or bought his ancestors into slavery hundreds of years ago. Tracked their ancestors, just people living their lives in Georgia, I believe. And he was going to go to their house and confront them. This is insane on so many levels when you think about it. He's blaming some poor family in Georgia for how his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was treated. Now, that was bad. What they did was his ancestors, his distant relative hundreds of years ago, blaming the answer. I can't even say it. It's so insane. But he tracked them and was going to go to their house and confront them. Does that sound crazy? Well, that's what he said. Here it is.
You know what's wild? I did Finding Your Roots, and they found the white family that purchased the first black wood of my bloodline off the slave ships in Charleston.
Yep, that's what we came off of.
If I wanted to today, I could find the white wood descendants in southern Georgia and pull up on their house. One day I will.
Yeah.
They ain't got no money though. I Zillowed they crib. They broke. Like, that's the thing we were talking about with slavery, man. Is that there's a lot of white people fumbled. Like, yo,
they fumbled the bag.
Yeah, you had working for you, you still couldn't come up. How you broke and you had slaves?
Yeah.
Think of that. And Shannon just giggles along. This kind of illuminates the madness of reparations, of guilt by family tree. So he's going to roll up on the family in southern Georgia, a poor family. He knows that because he Zillowed them. That is so insane and so creepy. And he wants to confront them because someone in their bloodline hundreds of years ago sold someone in his bloodline. And it's their fault. Their fault. This family living their lives in 2025. And he just said he is going to do that. He is going to roll up on them and do what? Attack them, hurt them, kill them? Because of what? They didn't do anything. They're to blame. That is just, and somehow Shannon Sharpe doesn't say, Roy, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. He giggles and laughs and, oh, they're poor? How could you be poor when your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather had slaves? Gee, I don't know. How would that work? And yet there are people, there are politicians. My congresswoman, Ayanna Pressley, thinks that poor white family in Georgia should pay that rich Hollywood celebrity because of something they are not responsible for, something they had no part in. That is a keeper right there. Save that. That is the best argument I've ever heard against reparations. The rich Hollywood celebrity wants to roll up on these poor Georgia people who did nothing to him. Hell, their parents didn't do anything. Their grandparents didn't do anything. He's got to go back 200 years to blame them for something they had no part in. And it's just, it's a good story. I'm going to tell you a story. I Zillowed them. I'm going to roll up on them. Then what are you going to do? You absolute lunatic. Then what? And somehow, Shannon didn't think to say, are you serious? Do you understand how insane you sound? No, Shannon saying, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that too. I'll Zillow the family of the guy who bought or sold my family hundreds of years ago. They could sit there, both of them fabulously wealthy and successful, thanks to this country, and say, we need to get those people. Crazy. Just crazy. But all right, we will end on that note, which I'm still trying to get my mind around. But hey, they're out there. But that will do it for today. Day 2 in the Mamdani takeover of our biggest and most important city. It's going to get worse. It's going to get bad. Just be ready. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Gerry Callahan. This is the Callahan Show, and we will do it again tomorrow.